Hello, everyone. Welcome back to H&P Podcast, a podcast that helps you breathe easier in life. I'm so happy to see you all again in a new episode.
Our hearts beat to the city streets. We began to feel the fire. We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals, they take us higher. The night's young and it's just begun as she puts her hand in mine.
I'm someone with a lot of interests. I love playing musical instruments, singing, and playing the flute. I enjoy cooking, though I'm not very good at it, but I still do it from time to time. I love writing, and sometimes I even enjoy physically active recreational activities. Ever since I was a kid, I've often heard the adults in my family say, "Master one trade, survive. Master many, perish." That phrase has always made me wonder, are there actually people who are skilled at many trades and excel at all of them? Leonardo da Vinci. He was not only a master of sculpture, painting, architecture, anatomy, invention, engineering, and computing, but he was also a philosopher. Or take one of my favorite authors, Malcolm Gladwell. He's the writer behind books like Outliers, David and Goliath, What the Dog Saw. He's considered a leading figure in popular culture, making complex scientific knowledge accessible to the general public, ordinary communities like ours. He collects, systematizes, and explains carefully selected information across various fields, including biology, geography, environment, and history. Recently, I read a book called Range: Why Generalists Triumph in a Specialized World by David Epstein. This book answered so many of the questions I had about this topic throughout my life. And at the same time, it completely shattered the saying, "Master one trade, survive. Master many, perish." A phrase I've heard countless times since childhood. Back in school, I had a middle school teacher who once said, "To become successful, 99% comes from intelligence and only 1% comes from effort." That statement is the exact opposite of what Thomas Edison believed when he said that intelligence accounts for just 1%. While the remaining 99% is effort. Honestly, I think we love believing in the idea of geniuses, people who are simply born talented. But we rarely see what's behind their success, what they've been through, and how many trials and errors they endured. Just like Thomas Edison, no one really knows how many failed experiments he went through before he made a successful invention. I can't give you an exact number, whether it's 99% or 1%, right or wrong, but I do believe in statistical probability. The more you experiment, the more you fail, and the more you fail, the greater your chances of success and luck compared to others. To delve deeper into the question of whether geniuses are born or made, we must ask, where does their brilliance come from? In 1947, Laszlo Polgar devised a plan for his future children, firmly believing that any child could be nurtured into excellence in any field. The field he chose was chess. Laszlo was meticulous and persistent, and as a result, his 3 daughters, Susan, Sophia, and Judith, became chess grandmasters. Susan became the women's world champion. Sophia achieved the rank of international master, 1 step below grandmaster, and Judith ranked 8th in the world among both men and women in 2004. Laszlo's experiment was a success, and his family's story became a testament to how human potential can be unlocked through early training. But does this experiment prove the saying, "Master one trade, survive, master many, perish"? And does early specialization and experience in a field always lead to better outcomes? Research shows that chess grandmasters do not possess exceptional visual memory. Instead, through years of studying repeated game patterns, they develop a technique known as chunking. Rather than memorizing the position of every piece individually, elite players group small sets of pieces into meaningful chunks based on familiar patterns. If you've seen the Netflix series The Queen's Gambit, you might have a better understanding of chunking. This is why chess masters succeed. They practice extensively and their skills become second nature. People often say, repetition makes perfect. It's the same concept. Or take so-called geniuses like Woo Young-woo from Extraordinary Attorney Woo, who has an exceptional memory for Korean laws. Familiar patterns and structured frameworks are crucial for individuals with savant syndrome. However, a study on a pianist with savant syndrome found that despite repeated practice, he was unable to play a melody that lacked a defined musical structure. This reveals a commonality between savants and the Polgar sisters. They rely on familiar structures derived from experience. When those structures no longer apply, they become completely disoriented. Some might think, that level of expertise is enough. Just stick to the rules and experience and you'll be fine. However, this principle only holds in narrow fields like chess or classical music. And now, even those fields are becoming obsolete as AI surpasses human capabilities. David Epstein explains how prodigies' brains function. They develop skills by recognizing familiar structures. But he also argues why we shouldn't follow the same approach. Unlike prodigies, we cannot rely solely on structured memory. He introduces the term multipotentialite and the concept of tennis on Mars to describe unpredictable activities without fixed rules. The modern world operates like tennis on Mars, constantly evolving and lacking fixed guidelines like chess or piano. In such an environment, relying on past experience can be detrimental. Instead, success comes from integrating multiple disciplines and solving problems independently. The truly successful, those at the peak of their fields, are not savants who master only one skill. Take Elon Musk or Bill Gates, for example. They continuously learn, read, and absorb knowledge across different areas. That's the world we live in today, one that demands rapid adaptation, conceptual thinking, and the ability to connect new ideas across various contexts. Psychologist Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi found that highly creative individuals are interested in a wide range of fields rather than specializing narrowly. Similarly, Charles Babbage, the father of modern computing, combined telephone routing technology with Boolean logic to encode and transmit data electronically. He once said, "Simply because no one else but me pursued both fields." International chess master and psychologist Fernand Gobet argues that successful individuals excel at transferring knowledge from one domain to another, avoiding rigid thinking and maintaining cognitive flexibility. People often say, that person has a high IQ, as if intelligence is an innate trait. But did you know that IQ can be improved and learned? Even those considered to have high IQs undergo extensive learning, exploration, and failures. Psychologists emphasize that excellence can be achieved through various paths, but the most common involves an initial period of exploration, followed by increasing specialization and intense practice. The phrase "master one trade, survive" represents an era of extreme specialization. But in today's world, besides excelling in our own fields, we must also embrace new knowledge. Take marketing, for example. It consists of numerous branches: market research, which involves data and analytics; product development; pricing; marketing mix; pricing; distribution; communication; event marketing, and more. You can specialize, e.g., in communication and event marketing, but you must also understand other aspects like social media, video marketing, and competitor analysis. Expertise in one area is essential, but broad knowledge is equally important. In marketing, you must understand your product. If you're marketing a tech gadget, a household appliance, or a financial service, you need to grasp its core functions, even if it requires learning about electronics or technology. Only then can you effectively market the product. Society today is no longer just about mastering a single profession or specializing in one field to accomplish everything. Instead, you have to play the game of tennis on Mars, as David Epstein puts it. You need the ability to integrate multiple skills and tackle each challenge individually. Successful people are not savants or individuals who have mastered only one skill. Elon Musk and Bill Gates continuously improve themselves, learn and read every day. They strive to acquire knowledge broadly. This is the world we live in. It evolves rapidly and demands critical thinking, the ability to connect new ideas, and the flexibility to work in various contexts. Rather than focusing too narrowly on a single niche, highly creative individuals tend to explore a wide range of disciplines. For example, Charles Babbage combined call routing technology with Boolean logic systems. Fernand Gobet wrote that highly adaptable individuals excel at absorbing knowledge from one field and applying it creatively to another, avoiding rigid thinking. They possess an expansive mindset. People often say, "That guy has a high IQ," as if intelligence is something fixed at birth. But do you know that IQ can be improved and learned? Those who are considered to have high IQs also go through a process of learning, exploring, and failing. Psychologists emphasize that there are many paths to excellence, but the most common involves a phase of experimentation, followed by narrowing focus, reinforcing structure, and an intense period of practice. The master of one trade represents an era of extreme specialization. What we need to do now is not only strive in our own field, but also absorb new knowledge. For instance, in marketing, there are many different branches. You may specialize in one area, but you must also understand others. Depth is important, but so is breadth. To do marketing effectively, you must understand the product, its functions, and purpose. Sometimes that knowledge isn't just about economics, but extends to technology and engineering, which allows you to market the product effectively. Today's world demands that we play tennis on Mars, integrating multiple disciplines and tackling challenges one at a time. The most successful people are not just masters of a single skill. Elon Musk and Bill Gates continue learning and reading daily, acquiring a broad range of knowledge. The world is changing rapidly, requiring us to think critically, connect new ideas, and operate in diverse environments. Instead of diving too deeply into one narrow field, successful innovators engage in a variety of disciplines. Charles Babbage himself combined knowledge from different areas. Fernand Gobet pointed out that highly adaptable individuals excel at transferring knowledge across fields and applying it creatively. They maintain an open mindset. People often talk about high IQs, but intelligence is not fixed. It can be improved. Even those considered to have high IQs must go through a process of learning, exploring, and failing. There are many roads to excellence, but the most common involves experimentation, narrowing focus, reinforcing structure, and rigorous practice. The master of one trade represents the age of extreme specialization. However, we must not only excel in our own field, but also absorb new knowledge. Don't be quick to assume that someone is simply lucky or naturally intelligent, because we don't know how much effort they've put in. The only comparison worth making is with ourselves. That concludes my insights for today's episode. If you found this content useful, please consider sharing it with your friends and loved ones. Also, as usual, because YouTube's algorithm prioritizes videos with high engagement, if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button to help our podcast reach more people. Thank you for watching, and I wish you all a peaceful evening.